All right. So we're talking about managing expectations in your relationship and in marriage. Okay, so first things first. I mean, expectations are a human thing. You cannot be a human being who is alive and sane, all right, and not have any expectations for yourself. No, 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 no. Okay, so it's not, we're not here trying to say how not to have expectations. No, expectations are normal. Do you understand? The only challenge is that sometimes we don't know how to moderate those expectations. Sometimes we don't know how to direct them, and then it ends up taking us to a place we don't want to go to. All right. So, like I said, it's part of your humanity. So long as you're alive, so long as you're sane, so long as you have a sound mind, yes, you have expectations. You know, expectations keep you going. You know, sometimes they are the things that even help you accomplish certain goals in your life. Oh, yes. All right. And then somebody will be very quick to remind me that scripture says that the expectations of the righteous shall not be cut short. So if I'm a righteous person, why is my marital expectation being cut short? We're going to speak to all of that, and you will be blessed. You will have insight, and you just enjoy yourselves. All right. So the challenge with expectations is that it can be realistic or unrealistic. All right. And today we'll try to touch some of those unrealistic expectations people have in their relationships or in their marriage. And take note, these are things that play out every day, every day, every day. Every day you see these things play out. Sometimes in your life, sometimes in your friends, or you just somehow, just read it up somewhere on the news or something. All right. Now, the way it works is that when these expectations are met, oh, it gives a lot of joy. It gives a lot of peace. It gives a lot of hope and calmness, and this sense of fulfillment, and you just know that everything is fine. However, when these expectations are not met, it causes disappointment and frustration. And then there was one time I said, I don't know if it was on this session or just generally, I tell people that you can't catch me. I hardly get disappointed, let me put it like that. I hardly get disappointed, whether with people or with events. No, I hardly do. I guard my heart very seriously. And then most importantly, I manage my expectations. Because you can't be disappointed if you have not invested so much expectation that something was going to happen the way you wanted it to happen. No, you won't be disappointed if you didn't put in so much expectation. Do you understand? So many times the disappointment comes, the anger, the sadness, the moodiness, and all of those things come because you have put in so much anticipation, you have built so much expectation around something, and then when that thing doesn't happen, or when it happens short of the expectation, so short of the mark you have set for it, short of the target, you feel unhappy. All right, so that's why we tell people that in relationships, it is important that you know how to manage what you are expecting. We're not trying to say you should not expect a great home. Oh, by all means, you should expect a blissful home. I mean, that is what I'm all about, teaching people how to achieve blissful marriages and blissful homes. Do you understand? So yes, you should expect that. However, by God's grace, today we will touch on some things that are realistic and other things that are unrealistic, perhaps especially the unrealistic ones, all right, because that seems to be the one that a lot of people find themselves in. Okay, so first of all, how are these expectations formed? Let me do a quick one on these. How are expectations formed? All right, I'll give you a number of reasons. First one I will say is personal beliefs, personal belief systems. All right, and your belief systems are influenced by your upbringing, by your environment, by the significant emotional experiences you have gone through in your life. All right, so let me give you some examples, right? When we talk about belief systems, you hear people say things like all accountants are stingy. Anybody that says an accountant is going to be a stingy man or a stingy husband. Why? Because you feel like something about their profession makes them very prudent with funds. All right, and then it forms a mindset to you, and you begin to take that out on anybody who you see is in that profession, because you just believe that this profession trains you to be very frugal or prudent with funds, and man, it's not cool. Do you understand? But then, like I said, that is a belief system, and you picked it up from something around your environment. And let me say this very importantly, that many things that people think are their belief systems. You think this is how I am. You think this is just how I behave. No, many times those belief systems are not even really yours. Many times those are things you have subconsciously picked up from around you. You have picked them up from your environment. Something about the way things are done in your immediate environment registers to you as this is the way this thing is meant to be done. In some cases, you think this is the only way it is meant to be done. All right. Meanwhile, there are several other ways to deceive it. Do you get it? Now, so your upbringing forms a major basis for your programming on how you see life. All right. And many times this thing impacts on your belief system. So those belief systems now influence what you are expecting to see in your marriage or in your relationship. So let me put it this way. If something about the home where you grew up, the man was entirely authoritarian. The woman didn't have an opinion. She couldn't question him. She couldn't speak, at public places or when he was with his friends. You know that kind of thing where a man has visitors and the way you're telling the children, like, leave the parlor. That's how you tell your wife, leave this place. Men are talking. That kind of thing. Someone who grows up with that kind of mindset, don't be surprised when you see this person behaving in a condescending way towards his girlfriend. Because somewhere in his belief system, which was subconsciously, imprinted in him by virtue of his exposure to it growing up, somewhere in his mind, women are not supposed to participate in certain conversations. Like women don't sit around where the men are talking. Somewhere in his mind, women are just those like you subjugate them to the background kind of thing. You see, and that is a wrong kind of thinking. It's a wrong kind of thinking. Yes, it's traditional, but hey, you are not living in those medieval and traditional times anymore. All right, a lot has happened in the world. There's a lot of progress that has been made with globalization and civilization, and you cannot continually subject women just to the background. Why is that? Because, currently in the Nigerian banking, commercial banking system, I think there are about 9 female CEOs. These are powerful people. All right, so you can't tell me that a woman can't rise to that point. But guess what? Somebody who has been raised with that traditional kind of thinking would have a problem with a woman expressing herself in the workplace or expressing herself in certain giftings and certain talents, and expressions that she has. All right, so I'm just explaining one of the ways that expectations are formed from our belief systems. Okay, so if you believe that all the men from this tribe are stingy men, or all the, what do they say about Igbos? They say Igbos like money, but I'm here to say anybody that does not like money, but let's leave that on first. They say, all Igbo men are ritualists. Come on, all Igbo men cannot be ritualists, right? And so when an Igbo person is asking you out as a lady, because something about your environment, something about the stories you heard, about one Igbo man who did sacrifice with his son or with his wife or something like that, or blood money and all those kind of things, and then you go about saying that, I can never marry an Igbo man, Igbo men never. You see, what's happening to you is beliefs that you have borrowed from your environment, from your upbringing. Do you understand? And this is very important because one thing people don't know is that your first school of marriage, all right, is your parents' house. Or rather, wherever you were brought up, whether the marriage was working or whether it wasn't working, but that is your first school of marriage as well as your first school of life. So many of the things that you guys believe, many of the things, except those who have taken time to go through personal transformation, and have gone through a lot of mental development and stuff like that, many of the things you believe are things that were imparted to you by subconsciously, by your environment, by your upbringing, and by the experiences in your life. You see, so it's good that you're able to settle down, sit back and ask yourself, why do I believe this thing? Where did I even get this kind of thinking from? Let me tell you categorically. Some of you, what is holding you back from making progress in your relationship is your belief system. And that belief has ended up affecting your expectations. How about people who say that people from a particular part of the country don't do well in their marriages. Oh, women from this state are very rude. They are never submissive. And then you have grown up believing that, and then lo and behold, the lady you want to get married to, you're sincerely interested in her. She fits everything that you desire in a lady. But guess what? That thing is playing in your head. These women, that's so they be from their place. They are very stubborn. They know they hear what they know they agree for anybody. You understand? So because that has filled your mind, somehow you would just expect her to not be submissive to you. Somehow you just expect that anytime from now her head will fit touch. And when you see the slightest form of resistance, or not even resistance, maybe assertion, when she's asserting herself correctly, all right, you would interpret it as that signal that you have always been expecting to see, because people from here behave like this and that. I don't know if you guys hear what I'm saying, right? So sometimes your expectations are influenced by your belief systems. I don't know if I've said enough on that. You can go ahead and, remember or think up several examples of how your belief systems have ended up affecting your expectations from your relationship or from your partner. All right, let me talk about another thing. Now, besides your own personal belief systems, which is influenced by your upbringing, your experiences, your environment, another thing that influences expectations in relationships many times are other people's experiences. Oh, yeah, other people's experiences have a way of influencing or affecting your own expectations. So, you're that kind of person who has elder sisters. All right, and then you have heard them tell all the stories of woes of relationship, how boys are just calm and just calm, all the heartbreak, how this happened to that person. You have heard all these stories, you have experienced all these things. So subconsciously, again, in your mind, when any boy tells you I love you, he's just a heartbreaker. Why? Because of other people's experiences. You see, now in the same vein, now these things, I'm just trying to touch it and move on really quickly, but these examples are really far and wide reaching. Okay, so you can think of an appropriate example. All right, other people's experiences, it affects your expectations. Have you seen people who are afraid to express themselves with their partner simply because they heard their best friend or somebody else say how that when they tried to express themselves in this way, this was how it backfired, and because of that, now your relationship is completely different from that person's own. The circumstances are completely different from that person's circumstance. But guess what? Because you have heard that information, because you have seen how it affected someone else, you subconsciously bring in that fear into your own relationship, and it affects the expectations you have. All right. Now, expectations can be both limiting and empowering. Okay. So some expectations, if they are positive, they are empowering. They help you reach out. They help you do more. They help you be better. They help you see the light and the good in everything. They help you stay positive. They help you stay optimistic. But then the opposite of those kind of expectations are the limiting ones. They are disempowering. Have you seen people who would never try any opportunity they see because they just believe it won't work? It's not people like us they are looking for. You see, there's certain jobs people will see, they have the right skill set, but they just say, all these people, when they advertise, don't mind them, they already know who they will take. Come on, what stops you from putting yourself out there? You never can tell. All right, so your expectations can truly be limiting or empowering. And what we're doing in this session is to help you to be able to, zoom in on your expectations, especially in your relationship. Now, what we're teaching actually affects life generally. It's not just relationship and marriage. It affects life, but I'm just trying to tailor it to relationship and marriage. Someone was asking me one time how I infuse both life coaching and relationship coaching in my practice, and I said, yeah, because life coaching helps you get better as a person. It helps you get better in yourself. The better you are, the better chances you have to be a good partner. Do you understand? So I don't like to only train about relationships. I like to train you about becoming a better person. You see, because that is the you that you're taking into relationship. And the problems we have many times is not relationship itself, it's human beings. Many times it's the human beings that have problem, and they carry their problem and enter a relationship. And you say relationship is hard. It's not that hard. It's you that is hard, or hardened, as the case may be. Do you understand? So yeah, let me just. I still have a lot to say. Yeah. So your personal experiences, your personal belief systems can affect your expectations. Other people's experiences too can affect your expectations. Your parents' marriage can affect your expectations from your partner, your siblings, your friends. Social media, you see, can affect your expectations. I mean, there are people who are not yet in a relationship, but they have made up their mind that the first day their partner will behave in a particular way will be the end of that relationship. What's happening to those people? Their mind has been stuffed with negative information. All right, and then because their mind has already been filled with that from all over the world, from everywhere, right? They are not even willing to be graceful any bit. The slightest chance they have, they're passing judgment, and they're looking for the exit door. But listen, if you are willing to do long-term relationship, right, marriage, which is for life, right? If you're willing and ready to go into it, then one of the first things you will understand is that there will be irritation, there will be offense, there will be bad behavior from your spouse. Oh yes, there will be those moments where you are angry. There will be those moments. Do you understand? Because you're dealing with a human being. But then you must set your heart and your mind to be ready, all right, to tolerate. You must build capacity, and that's why we're having all these kind of teachings. You must learn how to manage yourself, because what is really happening there is not the fault is not necessarily from your partner. What it is to you is a challenge of your own personal and emotional and spiritual maturity. Because for goodness sake, you cannot determine what other people will do. You cannot directly influence or affect what somebody else will do. But what you can control is how you will respond to it. If you master this principle, oh my God, you would have just found a way to reduce, if not eliminate entirely, the frustrations in your relationship. People can do whatever they want to do. It's left to you to respond. It's left to you to interpret it accordingly. If you interpret it in a limiting or disempowering way, then you feel bad and you feel sad. If you interpret it in a way that is empowering to you, then kudos, you will be strong and you'll be positive. Okay, so somebody says that you're a big fool. And then you ask yourself, am I a fool? No, I'm not a fool. Okay, it's not me they're talking to. And you move on. You see, it's that simple. But then something in you saying, look at this small girl calling me fool. What? Or this small boy, what rubbish. I will teach you a lesson. You see, by the time you're doing all of these things, first of all, what's happened is that you have accepted that, oh, I am such a big fool. You have accepted it by yourself. It's not the person, not because the person said it. It's because already something in you was considering that maybe I'm a fool, or maybe I'm a fool, maybe. And there's somebody that confronts you that, yeah, fool. That's why it resonates with you. Do you understand? But if you are so sound and so sure that I'm not a fool, when you hear people shouting fool, they say it's not me. I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. But so the point is, when you are open to everything people are saying out there, you're trying to prove them wrong, you're trying to respond to it, then the problem is you, it's not them. Because anybody can say whatever they want to say. You cannot determine that. What you can choose to determine is the level of impact that thing that they are throwing out there will have on you or will not have on you. That's just what I'm trying to say with this. All right, let me move on, please. I have a lot to say. Let me acknowledge a few persons. Yeah, I see you all. I see you all. Yeah. Okay. So, another major thing that influences people's expectation is your self-concept. I cannot overemphasize this point. As a matter of fact, I will take a full month by God's grace sometime this year to speak about self-concept. All right, because it is very foundational. It is very important. It's everything. Everything rises and falls on that. Do you understand? Your self-concept affects your expectations. Have you seen ladies who believe that the man who is asking them out is too good for them? Have you seen guys who believe that this lady is too high up there for them? And then they say things like, this relationship cannot work. She's too big, not be my level, not be my class. Have you heard about imposter syndrome? Where something good is about to happen to you, but you just feel like, no, it's not my type of person. No, maybe it's a mistake. They called me for that role. Me. I beg go. Let me not fall my hand. I beg. Your self-concept. What makes you think that certain people are too good for you? What makes you think that you don't deserve the best things of this world? As a teenager, one of the things God taught me is that I deserve good things. Good things always come my way. We confess this every day then in teenage fellowship. We say it every day, time and time again. Good things look good on me. I deserve the best things of life. Nobody is too good for me. Do you understand? If God could give his son, Jesus Christ, for me, nothing is too good for me. No. Nothing is too good for me. Nobody is too important for me. Nobody is too good for me. Good things look really good on me. Oh yeah, I deserve good things. Right? Now, these are certain affirmations that can help your self-concept. If you have a limiting self-concept, it will affect your expectation. Yes, you will tolerate things that you should not tolerate on a normal day. Many of you there in the workplace, the reason people are still tossing you back and forth, up and down, using your head to hit wall up and down, is because of your self-concept. Listen, if you have a very healthy self-concept, there are certain people you will stand up to with your head held high, your shoulder high, and you are not being rude. You're just telling them, hey, you know what? You cannot address me like this. It's that simple. Oh man, time will fail me to give examples of my workplace experiences. You cannot, you won't talk to me like that. No. You can say what you want to say anyway, but you cannot hold my reply. No matter who you are. There was a time I was accused of certain things that my reply was that the name Mayzy of Fordham cannot be mentioned with these things you're saying. And I'm talking about replying senior management. It's not, I did not mince words. I did not say, no, me, well, never, no, please, help me. Maybe somebody's lying on my reply was, I want to categorically emphasize that the name Mayzy of Fordham cannot, in capital letter, be associated with the following. I stated it like that. And I was not careful to answer that. Why? My self-concept. I'm not confused about who I am. Do you understand? Now, if you don't have a healthy self-concept, it will affect your expectations. Yeah. So when somebody is being abusive to you in marriage, you say, let me manage you. Finally, I see chance to even enter a relationship. This relationship I've been saying, God, when? Finally, we died here. And some people really died here. You see? So, your self-concept is very important. These are the things that affect your expectation. Listen, let me ask you, why have you removed yourself from some of the good things of life? Why have you disqualified yourself from an international job? Why have you disqualified yourself from traveling abroad? Why have you disqualified yourself from doing business internationally? Why have you disqualified yourself? Why? Why have you disqualified yourself from a particular kind of spouse? Why? Let me tell you, many times it's you who need to up your game. You need to up your self-concept game so that you can understand that the good things of this world have been delivered to you. How can your father own the world, make the world, and then you're living in poverty and in penury? It doesn't match, man. You are misrepresenting your kingdom, misrepresenting your family. Do you understand that? All right, so let me move on. Another thing, of course, deriving from self-concept again is insecurity. Your insecurities can affect your expectations in your relationship. Low self-concept, feelings of inadequacy. I'm not good enough. Have you noticed that people who have low self-esteem are the ones who criticize everything? They are the ones who always pick offense very easily. Everything is targeted at annoying them. It's because of them you said what you said. Everything is just targeted at them, and they willingly receive all of those arrows. It's their concept, their self-concept. It's their insecurities. All right? There are many people who are harassing their partners because of their own insecurities. Because you think that your partner is cheating on you, even when they are not cheating, you project cheating on them, you harass them with cheating, you just make life hell for them. It's your own insecurity. It's not theirs. Do you understand? So when people have insecurities like that, it affects their expectations. Can you just imagine that you're not yet even in a relationship, yet you're already just believing that all men are cheats because it's a man to cheat now. I beg. Maybe I'll say I'm supporting no grief for anybody. This thing, there are context to it. There are context. So let me even emphasize it now. There are context. So, was it Ali Baba who said that if you're single and you're praying for life partner, Don't go and join people that are saying don't grieve for anybody. Grieve for somebody, especially if you are praying for somebody this year. Are you hearing me? So their context, and then what was his name now? That humorous. That humorous say you need to check your no green limit. Your no green meter. Because some people's no grility is higher than your no grility. Do you understand? So there's context to not have to say no grief for anybody and you lose your life partner. You will not hold me responsible. So be guided. Anyway, all right. So so insecurities, they affect your expectations. All right. I'm saying all of these things. I'm trying to gloss through as quickly as possible because maybe I shouldn't even just rush it. Let me slow it down a bit. Okay, these things are really important. What are you disqualifying yourself from? What do you think is too good for you? What are those thoughts you have about marriage? All right, one of the things I like to do with people in sessions is to find out what their mindset is about relationship, what their mindset is about marriage. What do you really believe about marriage? What do you desire from your marriage? You see, it's very important. I want to know, what are you thinking? What are the things that have formed the frames of your reference, of your thinking when it has to do with love and marriage and family? It's important we know that. All right. Why? Because you may just be sitting on disempowering thoughts, disempowering expectations, limiting expectations. And guess what? These are the things that will play out in your relationship. Oh, yes. Let me move on, please. Okay. Oh, another reason, another cause of expectations are promises made. You were on your own, Jeje. You did not ask for anything. You were just on your own, minding your business. Somebody comes into your life and now promises you that, on your birthday, what I will do to you, what I'll do for you on your birthday, you won't believe it. You won't see it coming. You won't see it coming. The person has got to go and promise you one kind of vague and mouth-watering promise. You were on your own, or you say, I'm not me. I don't know how to expect anything from anybody. Somebody now came and did you long throat, and made you one mouth-watering promise. Now, your birthday is in 3 weeks' time. They're there saying, what could it be? Is it money he wants to give me? Everybody knows I have money. I don't lack money. So what kind of money does he want to give me that would really get to me? Okay, let me see. Maybe a lot of money. Maybe dollars. Maybe pounds. Okay, let me see. Maybe you'll buy me a car. You'll buy me a car. I think so. I've been complaining about my car since. I've been saying I want to change my car. I'm sure he wants to get me a car. Oh, no wonder I saw him the other day browsing on new Mercedes-Benz brands. Maybe he's going to buy me a car. You see, your mind now is wandering everywhere because one human being has got to go and promise you. All right? It's not your fault. That one is not really your fault like that. It's somebody that has gone to trigger you somewhere, right? But listen, this is what to do. Don't forget, I always tell you, you have control over your emotions. You have control over your thoughts. When people make promises at you, thank them. Be excited, but please leave it where it is. Right? If the promise is delivered, good and fine. Congratulations to you. If they don't deliver on their promise, then you are fine. Your heart is not broken. You are not disappointed. Why? Because you were not banking on it. So you see, people go and make promises, especially in relationship. I'll do this for you. I'll be there for you, man. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that. You say if you're happy. At the end of the day, they don't come true. All right? And then your expectations are dashed. You see, like I said, it may not be your fault, all right? But where it is your responsibility is to manage your own expectations. Personally, like I told you, I hardly get disappointed. Why? Because no matter the promise, no matter when it is delivered, oh yes, it's in the bag, fine. But if not, I just leave it there and I manage my expectation and manage my excitement. There are some people that they have not yet received money. They have got to go and borrow. They have got to go and spend. Because somebody said, I will send you 500. He has not sent it. They just say, there's this contract I'm expecting. We're in the final stage. When it's set, guy, I go tear you 5 million. You don't hear that thing, your brain don't scatter. 5 million, you have already gone to rent house. You have gone to start borrowing people. Don't worry, I'll pay you back next 2 weeks. For something that is not within your control. You see wahala. Finally, now the person, you now say, guy, how far? I say, yeah, I still get you for mine. I get sure. you're happy. Promises. One thing you need to know about promises is that, hey, if those things are made to you by human beings, listen, no matter their best and finest intentions, sometimes they are incapacitated to fulfill those promises. They are human beings. Thank you, Millie. Imagination. See, there's one song they used to sing with that imagination thing. Imagination. Because of that promise, your mind has gone everywhere. At the end of the day, the person doesn't come true, and then you're heartbroken. Listen to me. You can control your expectations. That's just what I'm saying. Okay, let me touch two very quickly. I'll just move on. Your desires, your goals, your vision. These things form expectation in you. These are some of the empowering kinds of expectations, right? Because you have set a particular goal and you're working towards it. The Bible says Jesus Christ, for the joy set ahead, endured the cross, despising the shame. Do you understand? So because of that joy set ahead, you can enjoy your cross, despise the shame, despise all the scorn and all the things that you have to go through because of the expectation. You see, so that's a good one. That's a healthy one, right? Another thing that can cause all kinds of expectations in your relationship is your experience with your ex. See, nobody has caused more harm in relationship than exes. You see all the rubbish ideology about love and relationship in this world. Who caused it? No, you think about it. Who caused all those things? It's exes. It's X. That's why their name is X. They have cancelled, they have spoiled things for love. All right. So one of the reasons people have terrible expectations about love and relationship is because of their ex. Oh, this ex was so terrible. He will promise, he will fail. He will never meet up. He will tell you that people are going out to become 2 hours late. He will keep you standing. Oh my God. Exes. And then the problem with that is that when somebody else is coming your way, because you have not gotten over that experience with your ex, you begin to evaluate this person from the lenses of your experience with your ex. You had an ex who was a pathological liar, so you have to double check everything she told you. Now you have a relationship with somebody who detests lies, yet you find it difficult to believe her. You have to fact check everything she's saying. And it's causing a strain in your relationship. Can't you see how that expectation is affecting your relationship? Because now, based on past experiences, based on the trauma, right? Now, even when you have somebody new in your life, you are dealing with this person based on the hurt of that past experience. And then someone tells you, hey, I'll be home late today. Your mind just goes. The last time she said, my ex said she'll be home late, it was because of that her useless boss. You call your partner. Where are you? Which meeting is that one? I hope your boss is not attending that meeting. I said, but of course, the meeting is with my boss now. And the other people I told you, no, you can't stay. No, tell them your husband say you must come home. Which kind of wahala it is? Because of another person's sin. And these things are telling you play out a lot. There are people who will not allow their partners to do certain things. Not because of any fault of their partner, but because of past experiences. Say, that's the same pattern. No, that's the same pattern. That's how all of them used to do. No. Start coming home. No way. There's this training in the US for 2 weeks. Some of us have been selected to go. Say, you're not going. Tell them you're not going. Why shouldn't I go? It's very important for my career. No. No, you can't go. I said you cannot go now. I must not be explaining myself to you. You see, problem. Why? Because in your past 2 relationships, when they said they were going for a trip in the neighboring state, they had to go and sleep with somebody. So no more. Your partner can never go for any trip outside of town without you. Lyrical can say switch to video call. In fact, that one is the highest. Who is there with you? Yeah, just my colleagues. Let me see them. Put it on video. Where is this? Turn to the other side. Let me see the road. Let me see. Ex have caused problem in relationship. Some of you, please, you need to pray and tell God to help you forgive your ex, but most importantly, to deliver you from the experiences of that ex. And then you have to set your heart, you have to set your mind towards new experiences. You need to know that you deserve good things, and there are good things in store for you. There are great people in store for you. All right. If you believe and expect that everybody out there is there to cheat you, you will fall into the hands of a lot of con men. Oh yeah, Because guess what? Even the ones that are not trying to cheat you, by your expectations, somehow you will just find yourself being cheated one way or the other. Yeah, because what's that law, right? Your self-fulfilling prophecy. What's that thing again? Whatever you believe, whatever you say to yourself, over and over again, becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. All right, Vivian, it's good to see you. All right, so let's touch this one. This one is very serious, very serious. I need you guys to give me some examples of unrealistic expectations in relationships. All right. Now, let me just kind of define my definition of realistic and unrealistic expectations, right? So, expectations are realistic if the conditions, the resources, the elements of that expectation are within your control within a given time, right? It's reasonable. It's realistic. But if the conditions, the elements, the resources to fulfill that expectation are in no way within your control, then it is an unrealistic expectation. Why? Because you cannot influence it, you cannot control it, you cannot determine it. You have to just sit back and hope that it happens. You see, so you cannot build your life on things that you have no direct influence and control over. There's something called the locus of control. All right, if you have read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you must have come across the concepts of your circle of concern and your circle of control. Circle of concern or influence. Circle of concern or circle of control or influence. Do you understand? There are certain things that are within your control. Those are the ones that are realistic. All right, but the ones that don't concern you at all. How do you want to? Do you understand? So how do you build your life expecting on things that you don't have any direct control over? So let's talk examples right now. Let's talk examples. If you remember some, drop them in the comment. I want to touch a lot of unrealistic relationship expectations. Okay, so let's start with. I tried to write down some of them. When I get married, I will change my spouse. I will change my spouse. Another human being entirely. You will change the person. How are you going to do that? How? All right, yeah, let me read this comment from Coda. Expectation skills, but in a relationship, we expect a beautiful ending. So are you saying that as I am dating, I shouldn't expect marriage from it, even knowing the relationship is good enough and healthy? Thank you. I will treat this your question. Please stick around. I will treat it in just a moment. All right. So stick around. I will treat it before I hang up. Very important question. Thank you so much, Coda, for asking that. Another unrealistic expectation is that me and my partner will never quarrel. Can you imagine that? And two of you are human beings. You guys will quarrel, no matter how you love yourselves. Now, when I talk about quarrel, there will be misunderstandings because you're human beings. You're human beings. Do you know that you can even be offended by something that was never intended to cause offense? Oh, yes. It happens a lot. Do you know that you can misunderstand something that was innocently said and you will take it to the left? Oh, yes. Lady Uyi, I see you. Good evening. Oh, yes. Do you understand? So if you think that you would never have misunderstanding in your relationship because how prayerful I have been in this relationship, in fact, I saw 5 visions before I agreed to marry him. In fact, all my father and the Lord lay hands on my head. Listen to me, you people are human beings. You will have problems. Yes, challenges will come. So long as you are in this life, there will be challenges. Do you understand? So it's unrealistic to think that you'll never have a misunderstanding with your spouse. No, misunderstandings will come. However, it is how you are able to handle them that will tell whether you guys are going to make progress in that relationship or not. Are you with me now? All right, so let's touch some more examples here. Ede says realistic expectations are smart, specific, measurable, achievable, yeah, and then time bound, yeah. Okay. There's another useless expectation like that. That I want to trap him with pregnancy. I've been dating for 3 years. He does not want to marry me. If I take him for him, he will marry me by force. Oh, sorry in advance. And when I get pregnant for him, he will marry me, or he will love me. He can even marry you, and it becomes from that moment becomes the worst experiences of your life. Because this person is going to feel like, oh, you cornered me, right? Person is going to feel played. And then they'll make life a living hell for you. All right? I'm telling you the kind of useless things we hear people say. If he does not have 10 million in his account, no, he can't date me. Useless expectation. What about you? Why can't you have the 10 million in your account and look for somebody that does not have to help their destiny? Since it is you that have become the victim. Since it is you that should be somebody else's project. You understand that kind of thing? If he does not have a house, if he's not driving Benz, you hear these things now, right? You see them, you see people talk like that. And sometimes you think it's just small children that talk like. I'm really ashamed many times I see people who call themselves celebrities say some of these very stupid things online, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, people still think like this. Do you understand? Because that is the frame of their minds, of their mentality. And that's why they need to be listening to sessions like this. Okay, now, let me tell you one that affects church people. You say, this guy is very spiritual. I like people like this. He takes God very seriously. Someone like this will never make a move on me sexually. Go and ask, baby. You go find out, baby. Then suddenly you discover that praying in tongues, anointing, has nothing on sexual urge. At all. You will be shocked that the only day that two of you are alone in the room, you see hands moving. And you'll be shouting, Jesus, brother Benjamin, what's going on? Because he's a human being, my dear. Stop expecting human being to behave like spirit. It's a human being. All right. So the point is, be on your guard. Be on your guard. Somebody says, "What if I just spirit?" You have to be on your guard, and that's why we talk about boundaries. Make your eye clear. Like, hey, don't confuse yourself. You say, "No, I cannot behave like that." You say, "Human being, he may behave like that." He may behave like that because he's a human being. All right. So my point is, be on your own guard. Let there be healthy boundaries in the relationship. Don't give room to chance. Let me look for some other examples, Joe. Let me address this one because this is a new year and I've already heard one or two people say this. I must get married before June this year. I don't know how God is going to do it, but it's going to happen. Before June this year, I must get married. Okay. Are you in a relationship now? No. All those your bad character that the Holy Spirit have been begging and fighting you to change since, have you changed it? No. But somehow, I must get married this year. Do you have any control over the human being that you will bring and start the courtship and fix the wedding date and bring all other elements of life to work? Do you have that direct control over it? No. But you are telling yourself, I know myself. When I set my heart on something, I do it. This one does not depend on only you. Where are you going to harvest the human being from that you want to come and force to enter your life? How do you want to do that? You see, so when people are setting those kind of dates, let me give you an example. Somebody said faith. Very good. Very good. I will talk about it before I close, together with the other question. All right. Now, let me tell you the difference, and let me tell you how faith works in this case. Maybe let me just answer it already. Now, a better way to say it is that this year, I'm going to be more deliberate about my life. I'm going to be more deliberate about my associations. I'm going to be more deliberate about the kind of people that I meet. I'm going to be more deliberate about my behavior. I'm going to be more deliberate about the vibes that I'm giving out to people. This year, I'm not going to be running away every time church closes. I'm going to stay around. This year, I'm going to volunteer to be a part of the workforce. This year, I'm going to look out for opportunities to just volunteer and put myself out there and just be a blessing to humanity. You see, those two are different. These ones I just explained now puts the responsibility on you. But you sitting down there just saying that I will marry, and you say it is faith. It will not work like that. That is not even faith. All right? No, that's not faith. That is, what do you call it now? Just jumped out of my head. But that's not faith. And see, this is where people get disappointed a lot of times. Because you say, I was faithing it, but it did not work. What is faith based on? Let me speak to the faith issue. What is faith based on? Faith is based on the word of God. Did you receive a word from the Lord about your marriage by so time in the year? The answer is no. So what are you basing that faith on? Just mere wish, just anticipation, just hope. You know, and in this case, the kind of hope we're talking about is what's happening to me and meanings today? More like wishful expectation, let me put it like that. Probability. You know, that's what you're basing it on. If it is faith, the difference is that you have received confirmation in your spirit that something is happening by so time in your life. God told Abraham that by so time your wife will be pregnant. That was a word that had been given to her. If you have received a word like that from the Lord, oh yes, that is something to put faith on. All right? But if it's not a rhema word, I shall not want my mate. Yes, I know that's scripture, right? But it has to come alive for you. It has to be personalized. It has to be personalized by virtue of study, by virtue of revelation, insight. All right? Rhema word. It has to come to you like that. Do you understand? So, if it is not that, then you're merely wishing. What you can control is that you can determine to reinvent yourself. I've heard people say, I cannot marry a short man. No problem. You will see somebody that is everything God wants for you. You say, but because I'm taller than him, never. You want me to be looking down on my husband. Okay, no problem. But that is the one that, would have given you the dream life you have ever wanted. But because you have set certain limiting mindset and stereotypes in your mind, you say, no, it can never be me. And then you miss that. So I hope you're understanding that many times, what you really need to do is work on the you part of the equation. What can I do differently? What are the things I even believe about love, about romance, about marriage, about family? In what ways are my expectations holding me back? And listen to me, somebody under the sound of my voice, you really want to go back and think about this thing. You really want to think about it. What are my disempowering beliefs about love? Okay, the way you'll be able to answer that is, what are my fears about love? What are my true fears about relationship? And let me even make this offer open. If based on what we're saying now, you want to talk to me after now, like you want us to have a session, at no cost, don't worry, I won't charge you for that one. If you want to talk to me about some of your fears for marriage or relationship or love, all right, slide into my DM, or if you have my number, chat me up on WhatsApp so we can have a session to address that. All right, that's just a giveaway. All right, I don't do free services anymore, except Love Code with Mayzy. All right, but that's a giveaway. All right, but it's important. All right, ask yourself, what are my fears? Say the truth. This one is not. It's not. I want you to be able to go into those places. You know that there are people who every time you mention marriage, they will don't worry, I'll marry one day. There is something deep down in their heart that they are scared of. All right, but they don't want to even open up that feeling. I want you to think about it. And if you think you want to talk to somebody, schedule a session, let's discuss. All right? Because I just sense that somebody needs to be liberated here. Somebody needs to find help. Somebody needs to be set free from that bondage. Do you understand? Those are some of the things that are affecting, some people from getting into the relationships that they desire. All right? Fear is just there. So let's talk about it. Let me move on. Someone says another example is keeping figure 8 shape after children and age sets in. Listen, if you don't apply yourself to the work, you see that figure you're looking for, it may have been gone for good. Oh yes, it may have been gone for good. You see, so it's easier for you to tell yourself that I'm going to focus on the habits, on the behaviors, on the actions that will lead to that outcome. That to just sit down there and be calling forth the outcome arbitrarily. It doesn't happen like that. All right, there are always causes before effects and outcomes. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. Okay, it's almost my time, so let me just stay on this point. I've heard somebody say, my mom got married at 25 before she was in her mid-30s. She had given birth to all of us. Me too. If my mom could do it, me too. Before I'm 30, I want to have given birth to my 3 children and stop giving birth. Baby girl life. The person that is telling you this thing is 27 years, no boyfriend, but she wants to have stopped giving birth by 30. How is that going to happen? So are you saying that that's just unrealistic? Unless as you marry, You see somebody now, sharp, you people married. Then your first shoot like this, you score 3 at once. Triplets. If not, how else are you going to have 3 children before 30? And you're 27 now. So can you see that it's just such expectations just set you up for unnecessary pressure, unnecessary tension, anger, disappointment, frustration. Before you know, you say, hey, my time is clicking, my clock is ticking, hey, time is running out of me. Why is time running out of you? Because you set that expectation for yourself and you don't have the control over it. No, you don't. You don't. What if you truly got married early, but you didn't have your first child till after 5 years in the marriage? Somebody's just saying, go for me. Calm down. It's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. People need to understand the way God works with you. It's not always a bad thing. It's not. Allow your spirit to be open to what God is doing in your life. And don't put yourself under the pressure of societal norms. It's only normal. Once you get married, you must take him home. If you have not given birth after 1 year, everybody's looking at you. What is the problem? Nothing is the problem. What if you listen? Let me even say it. Your life changes from the moment you get pregnant. Your life changes. Your marriage is impacted significantly from the moment you are pregnant. Not just pregnant, from the moment your child is born. Your life changes significantly. Do you understand? So if you know what's good for you, enjoy yourself with your partner, have fun, travel the world, do so many wonderful things, because the next time you may do it when you start giving birth might be the next 10 years. Do you know that there are certain cruises you can't go on with children? Do you know that there are certain holiday spots you want to go to, but your children have to be minimum of 5 years old before you go there? So that means that's enough to further notice. Do you understand? So your life changes when children come in. So have plans to enjoy your relationship stage. Have plans to be adventurous. Have plans to travel the world. Have plans to, do you understand? Have plans. Calm down with this hurry. Hey, it's 9 months, so hey, my stomach is not swollen. Then who watch us all about? Calm down. No. Your life and every other person's journey is different. Yeah, CJ says, thanks for the update. Yes. Ediri says, you got minute. Oh, yes, I mean it very much. Do you understand? Yes, your life is significantly impacted once the children start coming. There are so many things you cannot do again. Before now, when I want to relax, the easiest way for me to relax is to just find a movie and watch. And now I cannot watch film. Because somebody else owns your devices. Somebody else owns the television. Yeah? Of course, you're concerned about certain things. You don't want to expose your child to certain things. And he's there in the parlor with you. So you can't be watching those your typical kind of film. Me that like action, person. I don't want to expose my son to too much violence, now blood, all those kind of things. Do you understand? So these are the issues. Do you understand? So what I'm saying in essence is, don't put yourself under the pressure of everybody's expectation. The whole world thinks that things should be like this. So then you start showing that no, settle down and understand that your life is different, and you and your partner, design the kind of life and the kind of expectations you have for each other, so that you don't have to stress it all the time. All right, I would need to be rounding off now, but I said there was a question I was going to answer, so let me do that very quickly. Dr. Gloria, I see you. Dr. Gloria, in fact, I will chat to you up after this session. You get one thing to discuss. So there was a question that came in. Let me look for it and handle it. One area where people used to expect funny things is their picture of romance. The kind of romance that they will be having in their relationship. He will wake me up with kisses and peck. He will serve me breakfast in bed. Some of you say, if you see that, will tell your partner, please don't kiss me. Go and brush. Come out to the sleep. You just stay here, you don't know what's up. Some of you, when your partner will snore for you, you want to run out of the house. It doesn't mean that you will not stay married. Look at you. You don't know the difference between real life and fantasy. Okay, I'm trying to look for the question, but your comments are just taking me. Okay, so I think I remember what the question was. The person says, "I'm in a relationship and I'm desiring good, marriage and all of that." Am I saying that um, you should not expect that? No, that's not what I'm saying. So, remember at the beginning I said that my work here is to inspire blissful marriages, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the difference here is that um, it's not just about expecting your marriage to work. It's about you preparing yourself to be all of those things that you are wishing will happen in your marriage. Did you get that? I think it's quite a lot that question. I have seen it. Expectation kills, but in a relationship, respect the beautiful ending, of course, especially relationships that lead to marriage. Okay, so are you saying that as I am dating, I should not expect marriage from it? Let me answer this first. If you have followed me for a bit, you would have heard me say that the basis, the purpose for you getting into a relationship should be for marriage. Why? Because that will help you put on the proper lenses with which to evaluate, to ask questions, to watch out for this, to evaluate this person, to be sure that they fit what you want in your life. But if it's not marriage and you think you're just having fun, then you go ahead and after, hurting yourself emotionally, you guys will go separate ways, and then you're just left with a dent. All right, and unnecessary experiences. Right? So my point is relationships should be for marriage. So one of the first things you're asking yourself while you're considering that person is, can I get married to this person? And how soon can I get married to this person? Is it within the realistic future, or is it just, let's say it is, maybe both of you are in year one in the university and this person has told you, I want to get married after my doctorate. So what we're saying is that perhaps another 10 years time, because your course is 5 or 6 or 7 years, and the person will do master's, will do doctorate. So do you understand? So can you get married to this person within the nearest future? You want to ask yourself that. Okay, so what I am saying basically to answer your question is that in your relationship, yes, you should expect marriage. All right, and then yes, you should expect marriage. But like I was saying, the most important thing is that you prepare yourself to be a blissful marriage candidate to your spouse. It's not fair to sit down and just expect that, oh, my spouse will be this, my spouse will be that. No, 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 no. What are you doing to make sure that when you get into marriage, that person will be lucky to have found you? That is what I want your emphasis to be on. All right? Let me tell you, when you are busy on this, God will help you and give you the wisdom to be able to identify the people who don't fit in your life. I always tell people that when you know who you are and what exactly you're doing, it is easiest to know who should not feature in your life for a relationship. It's easiest that way. All right. So, Koda, I hope that answers your question. I hope that provides some clarity. Please have marriage as the reason why you're getting that relationship and expect it to work. But most importantly, prepare yourself for the kind of marriage you desire. I'm still seeing that there's somebody. Halle Berry, do you want me to bring you to the room? Oh, Michelangelo, Asoba, so that's you. Wow. Wow, good to see you, bro. All right, so Koda, if you're still here, let me know if you got my answer to the question. Thanks a lot. Okay, yes, good, good, good. Thank you. All right, so any other thing, because my time is past now and I want to stop now. Next week, by God's grace, I will talk about how to deal with expectations. I thought I would get into that now, but perhaps that'll just be what we'll talk about next week. How to deal with expectations, and I'll tell you very practical things that depend on you, because that is the summary of what I'm saying. The summary of realistic expectations are that there are things that depend on you. There are things that you can determine. There are things that you can control. All right. Before you're there thinking that, oh, my relationship will be very sweet. Are you a very sweet person? Are you in the process of becoming a very sweet person? Are you developing your level of sweetness to go from sweet to sweetness? Do you understand? Are you self-improving? Don't be expecting things that you have no direct control over from other people or from other circumstances. No, rather focus on what value you're adding to yourself to be able to deliver and create that thing. For those who are thinking that it's marriage that will make them happy in this life, oh my God, never has your sadness and your loneliness been increased. That's what you will experience in marriage. Because if you don't come in ready with your own doses of joy and happiness, it is not marriage that will supply it. Because what marriage will rather supply is that you will see situations and circumstances that would want to drain you of that happiness. And it's not because marriage is no. See, it's when we say things like that. People say, you people are making it, you're making this marriage thing sound too hard. You're making it no. We are telling you the realistic thing that you don't want to hear. That is why you go in and you're experiencing all the things you're experiencing. That is why you must prepare for it. You are living with somebody for the rest of your life. Both of you are human beings with your several differences. It takes a lot of work, maturity, and deliberateness for both of you to be able to live together peacefully. That's what we're saying. So you cannot discountenance that. You cannot say no, it's not significant. No. It is important. You need to know it, that it takes a lot of deliberateness for you guys to not be fighting every day. All right? Knowing it helps you to prepare for it. Helps you to build the emotional bandwidth. Do you understand? Helps you to build the spiritual depth. Helps you to pay attention to your life, to your principles, to your values. The reasons many people are very careless is because they have not got a sound vision of their personal life. When they do, for your own sake, you will coordinate your life. You stop drinking anyhow. You stop smoking. You stop doing hard drugs. You stop sleeping around. You start minding the people you associate with. You start paying attention to the people who form your inner core. Why? Because suddenly you have found serious value for your life and vision for your life. Do you understand? Yeah. So let me stop there for now. Focus on yourself, the things you can improve upon towards having a beautiful marriage. While you're doing that, it will be easy for you to spot people who fit into that equation or people who don't fit in. Don't be carried away by feelings. All right? Don't be deceived. When you have a clear sense of value and direction, then it will be easy to sieve out those people from your life. All right? Let me stop there for now. See you guys next week.